prophecy claims that when the planets align, an Archmage will rise, signaling a new age to undo the ruin that befell the land and restore the Tower of the Mages. Will you forever be a mere spellcaster, or fulfill your destiny by exploring, expanding, exploiting, and occasionally battling out with followers of rival spellcasters wanting to be the Archmage themselves? Besides other humans you'll fight or others that follow you, you'll need the help of mythic races and hybrid ones to gather their mastery of elements, which makes up the sphere of magic, in exchange for relics they desire. Your followers will study the spheres of magic, and where they are on the tower boards will give you access to those spells from your grimoire. Fundamental spells are the easiest learned, then advanced spells, and lastly, master spells. Together with their help, you'll ascend to become the Archmage. But there can only be one. The land will be unexplored at the beginning. Players will start the round by preparing, journeying, and interacting with their last location they are on, known as the journey's end. During preparation, players will remove temporary spell effects on the map, refresh their spellbook with the spells cast, and progress a planet closer to the middle. These will act as a timer to the end game when the planets are aligned. When moving a planet, the players will gain a relic of that type. These are used to trade with mythic or hybrid races, to initiate followers into the corresponding sphere of the knowledge of the race during the journey's end. Initiating followers will grant you access to that spell in your grimoire. To reach higher ones, you need to promote your followers. This is done by ending on your personal tower, which you will have built during the course of the game. Promoting requires you to have at least 2 followers in the sphere, each overlapping the higher sphere. Only one will graduate, while the other returns to your supply. Followers can also be used on the board to hold key locations. These will give you endgame victory points for controlling the most of each of the 5 types of terrain: mines, crypt, grove, ruins, and libraries. Besides scoring, ending here will garner you the relics used to trade into races for initiating followers, and spent for casting spells. The 6th sphere of magic, Blood, can only be attained by fighting opponent followers. You start the round with 4 action points and spend 1 to move, explore, or to fight. Of course, what spellcaster leaves themselves open? Wards might be placed, which will require you to spend another action point, slowing your progress. Camps and cities will allow you to recruit more followers and or exchange relics. As you initiate followers and leave them to hold territories, you'll need to recruit more. When all the 6 planets align, a new era has begun, and we declare who amongst you has become the Archmage. Dominion over each fundamental spells you've learned will give you 1 point, 2 points for advanced spells, and 3 for master spells. Dominions of a terrain type scores you 2 points, and 1 if tied. The player with the most points has ascended to Archmage and is the winner. First thing that came to mind when looking at Archmage was the genuine curiosity of, what is this game? The components looked great, the art was fantastic, and as I read the lore and introduction of the game, Archmage had me hooked and excited as a kid on Christmas Eve. And more importantly, that journey of exploring a new game was also beautifully captured as I explored the land while playing and seeing the possible magics I can summon based on the land's surroundings. The game is rife with tactical depth and long-term strategy. Though a learning curve is inevitable, and mostly that will come from learning and remembering what your available spells are from your grimoire. All players have the same one, but depending on where their followers are on the tower board, will give access to only some. And as the game ebbs and flows round to round, so too will your spells. Promoting followers will gain you a spell and possibly have you lose another. And moving across the land will have you gain new terrain types and lose others. The game is in constant flux, but not in a chaotic way, as you can plan ahead and react to other players' decisions. So yes, players' interaction is high while you're progressing your own agenda. And scores were tight as well as diverse. Some scored points for having only spell, others for control of terrain, and others still for a blend of both. Archmage is a very good game that has great fusion of Euro and themed games. Resource management is prevalent through relics and followers, and theme is captured flawlessly through the story and spells. And obviously, the 4X element is abundant as well. You'll explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate for that valuable blood. And with an added solo mode, the game certainly feels complete and you definitely get your money's worth. Small cons will be learning curve, which you'll only overcome by playing the game more often, and analysis paralysis at times. But it's a small price to pay for such a great game. Archmage scores an 8.5 out of 10. And if you like or are interested in the game, please check out the expansion on Kickstarter, Archmage Ascendant.